right here with Nick.
Yeah, what types of pre-snap adjustments did you guys make from previous road games to help you guys out more this game?
Well, we certainly evaluated what we had done in the past and then tried to just alter some of the lines of communication. It wasn't anything drastically different. We just did a better job of it.
So all the way back in the room here on the right, Ryan.
For a confidence standpoint, how big was that win on the road? And what are you telling your guys about playing in a hostile environment with everyone watching?
Well, I think I don't think the confidence of the group has wavered. We just we're looking forward to another opportunity in an environment like that to play better, and so we did that, and that was I was excited for the players because I know they were itching to get back into an environment like that against a quality opponent on a big stage, and so they handled it better than we had in the past, certainly, and so I was proud of them. There's a lot of work to be done still, and we know that there'll be other moments where we'll need to improve on things that we've done previously, and so that's really the focus. But I was proud of them on how they handled the environment.
Far left, Chase.
Jalen didn't get sacked against LSU. I know he got flushed out of the pocket pretty quick a couple times, but considering that road environment you just mentioned, considering LSU's got a premier pass rusher with Swinson, number 4, was this the best pass pro night of the season for y'all?
Well, I think we were efficient running the football, and that kept us out of some situations that allowed them to rush. And I certainly felt like up front the guys did a great job both in the run game and in the protection. There certainly was time for Jalen back there to go through reads. And I thought Jalen was very decisive in the pocket as well. He threw the ball to some checkdowns, he got the ball out of his hand. I thought the staff did a nice job collectively of putting together some plays that allowed him to do that, and certainly the players deserve the credit for bringing that to life. So I think it was a combination of things. I was trying to stay out of some of those situations. I know I had mentioned that early in the week about being efficient on first and second down, trying to stay out of some really tough spots where there's really no guesswork on if it's a run or a pass, and so we certainly handled that well, and having no sacks in that environment. The credit belongs to the players for their execution in those moments.
Let's go to Emily Grace in the middle of the room.
Coach, you and some of the staff made your way down to the field towards the end of the game. What was that walk like through the end zone for you?
Well, I was just trying to, the game was essentially over, and the only thing that was left was us taking a knee when we got the ball back, and so just trying to get down to the people that you care about and enjoy those moments, those brief moments that you have in those type of environments. So I was just happy for the players, their families, everybody that put so much hard work into each week, and so to be able to get down there at the end, not just myself but the other guys that are up in the box, it was a special moment. I was glad I was able to do it.
Let's go to Katie right across.
You guys finished 10 of 13 on third downs. How much was that staying out of those third and long situations, and also just kind of the execution of the guys on third down?
Combination, certainly that was a point of emphasis over the break. We had not been, we did not execute well in the previous 2 games on third down. There's no surprise, that was no secret, and so we certainly looked at it closely over the break on what we were doing, what LSU was going to present to us in those situations to try to be better, and we were, and so that was certainly a critical point in the game, or a critical factor in the game, was our ability to stay on the field and execute third downs.
Let's go in the front right here to Kennedy.
We saw Jim Miller have a really big role in pass catching. How have you seen that area of his game in the running back room's game grow from fall camp to now?
I think both him and Justice have had good moments catching the ball out of the backfield. Third downs, just keeping the chains moving, both of those guys. And that's certainly a factor, something that we consider in our offense, the variety of routes and concepts that we want to make sure that we use each and every week. The different route tree that each group of players, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, that we ask them to do is certainly big, and they've handled it well. I think Coach Gillespie's done a great job of coaching them up on some of those routes, and they've done a great job of executing in those moments. So yeah, Jam was certainly impactful in the game. Justice has been in the past. Their ability to come out of the backfield and catch the football is certainly, it makes it easier for the quarterback. It makes it harder to defend for us offensively, and something that we'll always incorporate in our offense.
Go to the far right here, Matt.
What do you think of the job they did settling down after the penalty on the first play there?
We did good. Did better than the first play, for sure. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Colin on the left.
When you think about the makeup of your quarterback room, whether it's Jalen, whether it's Austin, Dylan, any of those guys, Ty, is there a commonality in terms of, mental makeup, physical attributes? It's like an intangible that all of them share.
Yeah, well, intangibles wouldn't be anything physical, right? So I think character, who they are as people. They have great families. Their parents have raised them the right way. And I think they're mentally tough. So those would be commonalities amongst all those guys. And I think at this level, that would be pretty standard across, the highest level of football is guys that have great character, they're built the right way and that are mentally tough.
So we have a question on the back left here.
The Russian attack paid off pretty early in the game against LSU. What did you see in their defense that you knew could limit them?
Well, I think each week you're trying to identify what you need to do to win the game. And certainly the last few weeks, that has been a priority for us, based on who we have as a commitment to running the football. And it's not always going to work out that way. You have to look at who you're playing, both from a schematic standpoint and from a personnel standpoint, and then you try to put your players in the best position to be successful. I think weather was a factor as well. We were mindful of what the forecast was going to be and what the game might turn out to be. And so you factor in a lot of different things as you're preparing for a game. And then you have to adjust in game based on how they're defending you and what's working and what's not. And so, some of the plays that we were able to execute, the players did a great job of making the right plays at the right time. I thought we blocked well. And so that usually, puts you in a position to be able to run the football effectively. I thought the guys that ran the football ran hard and tough. I thought the tight ends blocked well. I thought we did a nice job. And certainly when you can control the line of scrimmage and run the ball effectively and efficiently, that's always a good formula, particularly when you're on the road.
We got time for a couple more questions. Start with Jack here in the front row.
Hey Nick, we've heard Tyler Booker praised as a leader all season, but how have you kind of seen him maybe evolve as one, whether it's just for the offensive line unit or just a leader for the offense as a whole?
Yeah, I can't credit him enough. I think he's been fantastic. He's obviously an exceptional football player, but his leadership throughout the course of this season has been outstanding, and we're going to continue to lean on him in that regard. I think he's become more and more comfortable, probably holding people accountable, challenging people. We made a concerted effort to let him know that we have his back in that way. And everybody in the program respects Tyler Booker, and so when he sees something that's not up to par, he has the authority to make sure that he holds people accountable. And I think that's what great leaders do, and he is that. There's no doubt about it. He's obviously an exceptional football player, but his influence on our team and our side of the football, not just with the offensive line, but all the positions, has been exceptional. And we expect that to continue.
All right, we'll finish up with Emily Grace who has a follow-up here.
Coach, in postgame, Jalen said that you coached him really hard to do what the play asks of him. In what ways did you see that on the field, and what was your approach in preparing him for the LSU game?
Well, we just, not specific to him, but all the players, we want them to execute things a certain way. Sometimes you can have production and yet you didn't do it the right way. And sometimes when that happens, your consistency over time is not what you want it to be. And so there's a right way to do things fundamentally, reads, footwork, if you're a blocker, hat placement, leverage, you name it, there's a right way to do it so that you can get repeated and consistent results. And so that certainly was a message to the players that, just because you had production doesn't mean that you did it right. And the longer you play, when you go against good teams, your fundamentals, your technique, the simple execution always shows up. And so we were better. We did a better job. But the things that have happened this past week will have no impact on the game this Saturday. And so our ability to have the right week of preparation, the right mindset, the right work ethic, so that you can continue to improve. your best game should be your next game if you have the right mindset, the right work ethic, and that's the message to the guys to do it right all the time, and so that you have the best results that you possibly can have when those moments show up.
All right, thank
Okay.
you, Coach.
Thanks for your time.